have drivers, man, again, public, but
that's a fact.
He said, I know everything.
I know everything.
They do be knowing everything.
I know where. I know your whole crew. I know who's doing what.
You're the best investigators ever.
I even know everything. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up.
Hey. They
knew.
got him in there. And the little one with the little 4-5.
He told me, he was just like, man, he said, I gotta make an example out of you. I gotta make an example out of you. So I'm like, you know, and I know what they doing. He's telling me, I know what they doing. Either tell them to stop or you gotta cut them off. That's a fact. He said, I know everything. I know everything.
And they do be knowing everything.
I know I know your whole crew. I know who's doing what.
You're the best investigators ever.
You know what I'm saying?
You're the best investigators ever.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
I get it. I need to know everything. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up. Hey. I'm like, you know, and I know what they doing. He's telling me, I know what they doing. Either tell them to stop or you gotta cut them off. And I'm like, damn, like how the fuck? Like,
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe, and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rockin' fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why we killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I got him. I be that more you gon' remember. I gotta be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember, be more. I be that more you gon' remember, that town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Hello. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. Welcome to another edition of Morris World TV. I'm your host, Brother Tahaka Bay, and we are live here tonight. Matter of fact, I'm Professor Tahaka Bay. Should I be Professor Tahaka Bay tonight? Should I be Professor Tahaka Bay tonight? Or should I be L. More Food? Should I be Professor Tahaka Bay or should I be L. More Food? Let that hang there. Like the assistant grand sheik of the Morristown Temple America said, we're going to let that hang there right there. Some of y'all going to catch it. Should I be Professor Tahaka Bay, Dr. Tahaka Bay, or should I be L. More Food? You know, L. More Food, he loved to hunt rabbits. I'm just playing. Stop it. Get off me. Get up off me, lower self. Get up off me. Get off my back, lower self. Get off me. Let me do my thing. Now I just want to sit back and do my thing. And my James Brown boy. Now let me just get down and do my thing. Get up off me, lower self. Get up off me. Now I just want to get down and do my thing. I'm trying to tell you. Oh my goodness, man. This is a beautiful day. Somebody said, hey, have y'all been watching the show? See, I keep telling people, in order to get the joke, you have to be able to watch the episodes or get caught up. If you don't get caught, I'm telling you, this is better than fooling hip hop. This conscious community foolishness is better than love, fool, and militias. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, Tajay, bring me my kombucha. It's time to start the show. Come on, talk to the people. You gonna talk to the people?
Yeah.
What you got on there?
Yeah, cool dude. I'm a super cool dude.
You're a super cool dude.
Yeah, I'm a super cool.
Well, hey!
I'm sorry.
Hey!
I'm sorry.
Anything you want to talk to? Anything you want to say to the people?
That I'm a super cool dude.
And what else?
And that this is a super cool dude also.
I'm a super cool dude.
Yeah, we're both super cool dudes. But we don't need shirts to explain it. Because we the super cool dude.
So listen. Maybe you can give us the British accent and tell everybody. See, people think the original Brits was Asiatic or so-called black. You know what I mean? The original people of Europe wasn't pale skin. And so people got it confused, you know what I'm saying? So I want you to go ahead, throw the accent, tell people, make sure that they hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and donate to the Marcus Garvey school, and don't be dirty Negroes. No, don't say all that, Bob. Now, tell them, make sure they subscribe and all the good stuff that YouTube people like do.
I got two things. One, hello Cryptonomics. Two,
Cryptonomics.
Crip.
Look, I might butcher some words, right? But my son, he pretty sharp. You know what I mean? He pretty sharp. He gonna correct me on my words. Cryptonomics. All right, tell the people.
All right. First, you want to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so that you don't miss any daily uploads. They might not be daily, but yeah. Anyway, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit all that. And live streams. When do you produce live streams? Like every
mostly Sunday.
Sunday?
and Wednesday, but I try to keep it going if I got time.
All right. So Sunday and Wednesday, most likely, but also he'll have like shows in the middle of that, I think.
Can you give a shout out to the mods?
Mods?
The mods, yeah, the moderators.
Oh, the moderators. Thank you, Sonny Boxing's Talk, and the other moderators up in here, Cryptonomics.
How about Maymuna?
Maymuna.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maymuna.
How about give a shout out to M. Nugent. I got M. Nugent.
M. Nugent, hello. Thank you for visiting the show and thank you for being a moderator.
No, he's not a moderator.
Not a moderator.
He's a great supporter of the show.
But you're a great supporter of the show.
And let's give a shout out to everybody that we didn't name that comes and see me run my mouth.
Everybody who comes and sees this guy.
Name some of the people, man.
All right, so I'm going to name some people in the chat. First, I see Lady Ace. Thanks for tuning in. May the Alchemist. Hello, thank you. Demetrius Manning, thank you again. Nikki TW, hello. Sean Stone and everybody else who's
look at the Himalaya drip. He said, "Thank you, my lad."
Thank you for tuning in. And also, we also got some more people. I'm gonna name a few more. Nicholas Jones, Donna Sheriff, Kay Robin, Trouble One. Thank you. Who else? Tony is a critical thinker. King's Mummies 124.
Who else?
We got Frederick Bartholomew. Thank you. Liberty Bell.
Look, M. Nugent in the building.
M. Nugent.
He's in the building.
Yep. And Lucky the Rabbit's Paw Bear. That's my friend. That's my
I appreciate you. I gotta start the show.
Okay.
Or they gonna leave.
All right. Just make sure you hit the bell, subscribe, and what's the other thing? Like and share the video so that all your friends can get this knowledge that this man is spitting right now. Oh yeah, thank you, Dr. That Original People 916.
Go ahead, boy. Okay. Go ahead, boy. You know they say I abuse you. Now get on, wake
Nobody
me up.
abuses me.
You know they say I abuse you, boy. Get on, wake me up. Thank you, Taji. That's gonna be a drop.
Boy.
You know they say I abuse you now. Now get on, wake me up. You know that's what they said. These crazy fools. Let me tell you something. This is real talk, man. Listen, anybody that know me and around my family, man, we have fun. We have big fun. Taji, I gotta do my show. We have big fun, you know what I'm saying? That's my man, Pots and Pans. Like, we go way back like 11 years. We go back double hockey sticks, as he called it. That we
actually back 11 years and 9 months to be exact.
11 years and 9 months. See what I'm saying? He said we go back 11 years and 9 months. He just turned 11 this year. And I'm gonna tell you, I call him my genius, right? Because when I need some help with something, especially technical, man, it's amazing that these children are so technical these days. So when I need something technical, like shirt design and the making the equipment work right, downloading something, that's who I call. I call 11-year-old genius. I'm trying to tell you, he blows me away. I'm so happy that he calls me father. Come on. One more thing.
Right, one more thing, guys. Sometimes he says I steal his show.
Yeah, you be trying to steal my show. You do be trying to steal my show.
Hold up. Guys, please do not spam anything about me. It's not about me. It's not I got something in my. It's not about me. It's about him and Grandmaster Jay. So make sure you look at the content and not about me. Sorry, there's something in my eye.
Don't try to cop out. Get a cop out now after you already stole my show.
Super cool, dude.
I try to tell you. He trying to steal my show. He tripping. He ain't coming up here no more. Y'all be gonna be talking about where Taji at? Taji ain't nowhere. He ain't nowhere.
I'm in all your hearts.
I'm the man. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. That's just what it is. Anyway, we're gonna start the show, family. How y'all been? Y'all good? Y'all good? Man, listen, it's not a whole bunch. So it's just like that. It come on. So I'm telling you, family, see, this is the weird thing. They even threw Taji picture up there. Did y'all see that? Anybody catch that? They even threw Taji picture up there. I was like, Taji? Taji don't bother nobody. Taji love everybody. You know, Taji, the other day, he brought a cat home. It was cold outside. He was walking home from school. He told me the cat was under the car and it was meowing. So he got to bring the cat home. He gonna hide the kitten. It's a kitten. He got to hide the kitten. And I'm telling him, man, you got to share this with the family because I'm not going to bring this to the family. You got to tell this to the family. I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? I said, no, I'm not doing it, man. But Dad, we can't let the cat go. He gonna act like his eyes welling up with water. We can't just let the cat die. And out there, it's cold out there. You know, Baltimore, it's like 50 degrees right now. I'm like, nah, man, listen, you got to go and talk to the family with this. And here we go. You know what I mean? Stray cats we done brought home. Good gracious. Good gracious. My wife, she brought 2 home from the fire. It was a fire in a row house. I mean, end up giving them cats away. They was crazy too. They was wild as ever. Them cats was crazy. You know what I mean? Them cats was crazy. Then we had a cat that showed up at our front door. What that cat named Taji?
Moon.
Not Moon. Moon cool.
Oh,
Lucy. Lucy was so crazy. I got I had like serious pit bulls, ghetto pit bulls. I'm telling you, ghetto pit bulls. Lucy would sit on top of the cage. You know, they was crate chain. She would sit on top of the cage and reach in and pluck their ears. Just pluck their ears.
Just a fun little fact. It's kind of not fun, but we named her Lucy. Short for Lucifer.
She was crazy.
She was crazy.
I'm telling you, that cat was nutty as a fruit. The cat tried to attack the pit bull, and we already know how that ended.
Sad times.
Ran to the pit bull and tried to attack the pit bull. I'm gonna leave the story right here because family shouldn't hear the rest of it. God damn. I got to talk about Grandmaster Jay. Anybody know any updates on Grandmaster Jay? I know a few something. Grandmaster Jay ain't looking good, family. Y'all realize Grandmaster Jay ain't looking good? Listen, many people watch the story about Grandmaster Jay unfold right now, and they probably thinking that, okay, they targeting Grandmaster Jay. And let me tell you something. I don't want y'all to forget. I don't want y'all to forget that when I said that Grandmaster Jay was an agent, I want y'all to remember that I said, I don't know what type of agent he is. And then I narrowed it down and I said, you know, I think he's an agent for Trump, working for Trump. You know what I mean? There are all sorts of type of agents. I think, but when we throw the word agent around, most people think of federal agents, COINTEL, program agents and things like that. But with that being said, after all the change of events, man, it's starting to make you wonder. I still think he was an agent for Trump, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Because I called it. You know what I'm saying? I still think he was an agent for Trump. Because soon as I called it, soon as Trump left office, all what they call that, HELL broke loose. Soon as Trump left office, they had many opportunities to actually charge him with something. Now, he was making some crazy, outlandish threats. You know what I'm saying? But not until, let me see if I can pull up some of these files. I mean, not until he began to let me see what I got here. Let me show y'all something. So, if anybody been following this story, right? One of the things that happened, let me show you something. What was weird to me, if y'all don't remember. Y'all remember this picture here? I showed this picture here on one of my shows, right? And I had showed that in this picture, one second, in this picture, I had showed that in this picture there were two people that always remained by his side through it all. Through it all, always remained by his side. And so the picture on the left, that picture was one of the pictures before anybody knew who he was. Before anybody knew who he was. And the one on your right is the picture that after he was released. And that was the first picture. That was the first picture that he put out. And ironic to me, I'm like, I'm seeing these same people. And I always used to ask people all the time that ultimately left NFAC. I asked them, I said, did y'all see some of the same people? Because when I was following it digitally, I will always see some of the same faces. And you will hear all these same stories. You know what I'm saying? Of the same type of familiar faces. But although they had masks on, you couldn't see them all the time, but they could recognize that. But now that the state and the federal government are pursuing these charges, many people think, well, no, he may not be this, he may not be that. Well, I'm telling you that the federal government, as well as the state government, in concert with one another, they have always done the bait and switch. Anybody know what the bait and switch is? The bait and switch is that, okay, in order to extract you out of this operation, then you will get a charge. And in getting a charge, it's like this. Even with the Alpo situation, you know, right now, people are suspecting that Alpo is not actually dead. I don't know if he is or not, but people are suspecting that. And the reason why people are suspecting that, because it's an old tactic to pull people out. You follow what I'm saying? It's to pull people out. And, hey, I don't know. I think time will tell. Now, personally, me, I don't think he's going to get any time. But let's not put that in stone. Let's not put that in stone, because this government has been known to flip the script on those who rock with them. They've been known to do that. But I don't think he's going to get any time. In fact, I think he's going to get some probation. And the reason why I think he's going to get some probation, and I could be wrong, but remember this, the reason why I think he's going to get some probation is because the role of inspiring people to pick up arms was a data collection operation. You know what I'm saying? Was a data collection operation. And what I mean by data collection, they took his computers. They know all of y'all who sent in registration with NFAC. Each and every one of you. They know each and every one of you at this point. You follow what I'm saying? And not to mention, you know what I mean? Somebody says 6 years probation is worth 2 years in jail. Well, 6 years probation for one who was working in the behalf of the government to obtain intel, then that ain't really 6 years probation. You know what I'm saying? What that is something put on the record to appease the people and to appease the news and to appease the unsuspecting people. But he'll be able to go on to his business and do everything. You know what I'm saying? It won't be real probation. That's what I'm saying. It won't be real probation. Like you and me, we get some real probation. It ain't gonna be real probation, but it will be to appease those who aren't looking. You know what I'm saying? That's all. It won't be real probation. He'll be able to do the same thing he's been doing. And matter of fact, that brings me to this. I thank you, Cryptonomics, because it's bringing me to this. Recently, a story just was released, and I'm gonna play it right now. Recently, a story was released. Let me play it right now.
And his group of armed followers gripped headlines during the protest of 2020 when Grandmaster Jay used vulgarity while threatening to burn the city down. Today in court, he had barely any words at all to say. Now he's facing a number of criminal charges. Wave 3 News troubleshooter Natalia Martinez discovered some new information about what he's been up to since.
Well, this is what he's being charged for. Authorities say that he pointed the semi-automatic rifle at police and a federal agent who were on top of a roof downtown. Today, he paid a $5,000 bond on some of those charges.
I thank you for coming out for your support, and I will see you all outside. Okay?
This was Grandmaster Jay leaving his arraignment in court Monday morning. The leader of a self-proclaimed armed militia who marched through Louisville during protests in the summer of 2020 is now indicted and facing felony charges in both state and federal court.
I will not be commenting to the media. No, ma'am. I have no comment at this time.
While Grandmaster, or John Johnson, wasn't crazy about appearing on camera Monday, he has appeared on camera in a number of videos posted on social media. That's despite this federal judge's order signed in December telling him to, quote, do not access or conduct any activities on social media.
None of this stuff is cheap, and the courts are very expensive.
In this video posted under the name Major TV Let's Talk, he asks for donations to pay for the legal fees for both the state and federal charges. There is a link to this GoFundMe page, which has collected more than $173,000 from a $1 million goal.
We don't hear the news anymore. We don't.
In this video posted last month, the same fundraising link is included too. Some of the videos appear under different names. Johnson's probation has not been revoked. I emailed the U.S. Attorney's Office, who is prosecuting Johnson with the help of the FBI, back in September to ask about the videos, but they didn't respond. Monday afternoon, they again declined to comment.
You see that? Did y'all catch the end? The news outlet says that they contacted, of all people, the FBI about him being in violation of using social media. Now, I'm just repeating what the lady said, you know what I'm saying? And she said they have no response. They have no response. You know what I'm saying? She said in September. It's October, November here today. And it seems like at this point that the media is about to come form now. You know, and that's why I say to appease the media or the unsuspecting people, you can expect some probation. But now it seems like the media is on his heels. That's what it seems like today. That the media, like, you know how they try to get you in the court of public opinion. And so one of the courts of public opinion that they're going to be working on now is that he's in violation and nothing is being done. And so they throwing hints out there that, hold up, is he getting privileges? Is he getting privileges? I know if it was you and I and we were given a court order not to do something, there's a strong chance that we ain't going to get those type of privileges. There's a strong chance, but hey, who knows? Now I want to take y'all back and remind y'all of a few things real quick. Y'all remember these things? Anybody remember this one?
And we're gonna have I think we're gonna do Red in Ohio. We'll do Grandmaster Jay. And we have, who else do we have? We have North Carolina. I don't know who you are. I'm playing that in the comments. And we have Illinois. There you go. They're about to sit back down. Now we're gonna have a big, I think we're gonna have a fantastic switch. And we're gonna see, is there somebody disturbing us?
So as you can see in there, and I have to remind you that this is why I say he was now. Y'all have to understand that we may never know what type of operation was taking place, but you don't get this close to Trump, the presidential candidate, and you waving on Trump. You don't get right there in that section. Mind you, it was reported, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, it was reported that he was expelled out the military and he got back into the military. He threatened his immediate supervisor
with a weapon in the military, and I'm not bringing that on to try to, you know what I mean, throw some shade on his jacket, but I mean, these things should be taken seriously, because if you pull a semi-automatic weapon on your immediate supervisor in the military, and then they said that he pulled a weapon on his wife in the military, and they kicked him out the military, or he got an dishonorable discharge, and then he got back into the military. I mean, all of these things need to be taken into consideration. Many of us, we see he was military, he's ex, not formal. Many of these things that we see now, we actually forget how we got here. You know what I'm saying? We forget how we got here. And the way that we got here is that, if I can find, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Cancel. Let me see if I can find this file real quick. The way that we got here, if you remember, y'all remember when he walked up on the Ahmaud Arbery demonstration? Do y'all remember that? Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. I think I got it here somewhere, if I can pull it up. Y'all remember, this is where it all started. And we're talking about Ahmaud Arbery. What's up, McClendale? Islam. Thank you, brother. Y'all remember that it all started from the Ahmaud Arbery situation. If I can find this file real quick. I had it just earlier. But if I can't, I think all of y'all will remember that he came up on the Ahmaud Arbery. But you notice the funny thing about it, you don't see a lot of noise centered around Ahmaud Arbery today. Why is that? You don't see it, you don't hear a lot of noise around Ahmaud Arbery today. None whatsoever. Do y'all know, to give y'all a quick update, do y'all know that the judge with Ahmaud Arbery case said that they believe that all of our people that was on the list to be a juror, they were racially profiled, if you will, and they were disqualified. The judge says he know it was because, quote unquote, race, but because the questions were not racist, or because of the line of questioning, he's going to let it pass. But he know that they was disqualified because of race. And I'm gonna tell you something. With that type of, when Grandmaster Jay walked down that street with the Ahmaud Arbery case, I think it was last February or March or something like that, March 2020, something like that. Man, he was talking real crazy. Like, yeah, we'll shoot this and we'll shoot. He was talking real crazy. Even jumped in front of the news camera. And it was a guy that had organized it by the name of Rockwaller from one of the factions of the Black Panther Party. And he just hijacked it and took it over. And that's how it began to gain momentum. Somebody say last May. Okay, Dre. Last May. My bad. Last May. I thought I seen him in February somewhere, but last May. But whatever the case may be, appreciate you, Dre. But whatever it was, he just hijacked that joint. He just hijacked that joint. So let me see this. I like to see black people stand up against the Klan. TB has a problem with that. Actually, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with people setting you up, brother. So you would be a target later on, or your family be a target later on. If you want to go up against the Klan, go quietly and go up against the Klan. Jay Dizzle. If you're seriously about going up against the Klan, move in silence and go up against the Klan. You don't got to turn on a camera every time you have a conflict with somebody. You don't have to turn on the camera and talk crazy. You don't have to do that. You're asking for attention. So that's not really going up against the Klan. If you really want to go up against the Klan, you know how to go up against the Klan. So Jay Dizzle, stop buying into propaganda. that's going to get you and your family compromised, hurt, or even killed. Now, if you want to really go up against the Klan, organize your people and go up against the Klan. Don't come on Morris World TV and act as if, like, I want to go up against the Klan. No, you don't. What you want to do is make a comment and act as if you want to go up against the Klan. Because if you want to go up against the Klan been around for over 100 years and you ain't gone up against them yet. So you just talking. It sounds slick on a podcast. I mean, it sounds slick on a podcast. But in reality, whether it be Grandmaster Jay, whether it be you or anybody else, the Klan been around for over 100 years. And if you want to go up against them, you know where to find them. And they're not on Morris World TV. They're not on Morris World TV. So you can stop playing. You can stop playing. I mean, this is the stuff where you got to call people on. See, in the 80s, this sound real good. See, I like to go up against the Klan, and I like people go up against the Klan. Turning on a cell phone and screaming you're going to burn something down and screaming you're going to put somebody in the trunk, that ain't going up against the Klan. Don't be a fool, Jay Dizzle. Not over here. We critical thinkers. You can't get us with emotions over here. See, that's how Grandmaster Jay was able to influence so many potential freedom fighters that was so serious. He got them with emotions. He got them with emotions. But these brothers and sisters were serious. They was ready. He was bluffing. All of those hundreds that showed up in Louisville, I guarantee you 75% of them was ready. He was bluffing. He was bluffing. And you can tell that he was bluffing on how he conduct himself now. Them Europeans got him under pressure right now, and he sounds like a little pussycat. And I understand. I get it. I get it. But you can't balk like he was balking, and then all of a sudden, you think you up against the wall. You ain't got to keep barking, but you ain't got to look so fragile and frazzled either. You ain't got to look so frazzled, and I'm trying to tell you, listen, we've seen some people facing some serious allegations. Go and Google it. Go and Google it. Some people that was facing murders. Some people that was facing all sorts of crimes. And they stick their chests out. Now, some of them is crazy, but some of them just go in there with their attorney, they don't say nothing. Look the people in their face, and they move in innocence, poke their chests out. They say it with the chest, not guilty. They say it with the chest. But this ain't the case with that. So this is the point that I'm trying to make, family, that our people need to realize when we are being triggered. And Grandmaster Jay triggered a lot of people. He triggered a lot of people. And now all of the people that you see with Grandmaster Jay today is no day ones that we seen showing up at those marches. I didn't see a day one that I could recognize, but you know, hey, they had on masks too. You know what I'm saying? They had on masks too. But I'm gonna tell you, the reason why I'm bringing this up, that we gotta watch the bait and switch. We gotta watch that. This happens in our community all the time. Do you know that the bait and switch was done with the death of Malcolm X? Did you know that? Do you know that they say that the actual killer of Malcolm X, or the actual gunman of Malcolm X, never went to jail? Anybody heard about that? Anybody heard about that? That he never went to jail. Anybody heard about that? Look, Jay Dizzle, you're the one that giving military and black national strategy. You're the one giving military and black national strategy. Okay, Jay Dizzle. Anyway, did anybody hear that? That the actual one that pulled the trigger on Malcolm X never seen a prison cell. Never. Never. Because you know why? Because it was a government operation in concert with our people. Our people played a part in the assassination of Malcolm X, whether they was a part of the nation or they was formerly a part of the nation. I tell you what, our people in concert with the FBI played a part in Malcolm's death. And the one that actually pulled the trigger is chilling. It's chilling. And this is why, why is it so hard for us to believe that the government or people who have positioning in the government or who has money would not put people in place for their interests to stir up the pot and to gain intel at the same time? Why do we think that's so hard to believe? Somebody said, could Polite be a victim of a government takeout? Nope. I think Polite is an agent also. And I don't want to keep throwing the word agent around. But Polite has no history that can be identified before 1998. You know what I'm saying? The Polite has no history. When you don't have no history, there's a question for. Let me give you an example. If you go on my Facebook page or my social media page, you would see many of my day ones. They in there somewhere. I don't know where, but they in there. Trust me, they in there. You feel me? You would see many of my day ones still there. In fact, I can go to my day ones and bring them on camera and we can have a conversation. I remember Polite brought his father on camera, supposedly, and the interaction was very clear. He ain't know that, man. It was very clear. You know what I'm saying? It was very clear. You could tell. If anybody ever seen the video, I'm like, he playing like, I never met my dad. No. I'm like, you know, soon after, he passed away. Now, I'm not blaming it on the situation, but I'm just saying, I'm of the thought that Polite is. I'm of the thought that Polite, man. I don't like to get into this stuff, man, because we get into too far deep conspiracy theories, and it just sounds crazy without me presenting the evidence. But I believe that Polite is a trained information gatherer. In other words, that there's a strong possibility that Polite was put in the community to bring information out of the community. See, all right, let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Man. Y'all ready for this? Because this is consistent. This is consistent with Grandmaster Jay also. You might don't want to believe it, but just consider it for a second. In order for one group of people to maintain power, they got to make sure that another group of people do not get momentum built. They have to make sure of that. And in order to ensure that, we are next up as a people. Nobody will be able to stop it. You could pass away tomorrow. I could pass away the next day. We all could be gone. Nevertheless, the universe plays the cards of who's up next. We're up next. Now, how long we going to rule? It only depends on the love that we'll be able to express. If we get into power and we begin to treat people greasy. We begin to enslave people. We begin to take advantage of people and use our power as a revenge mechanism. We won't be in power long. We won't be in power long. But we're up next. It's inevitable. And so when those that know that, you know what I'm saying, when those that know that's in power, they are going to do everything in their power to hold it off. And so because the gun culture is so prevalent in the street community of our people, let's be clear. Europeans have way more guns than us. But because in the street culture, they are so prevalent and they are so attractive to the gangster persona, the first thing that they need to do so you don't build an army, the first thing they need to do is they need to gain intel. They have to obtain intel. And the way that they gain intel is they send people like a Grandmaster Jay that is charismatic, and that's very persuasive. Let me show you how persuasive he is. He got people joining a militia by the way of the internet. Never seen. He got people sending their license. He got people sending their social security cards. All through the process of doing morning mental. He got people sending them crazy money. I mean, they don't know him. They don't know him from a can of paint. All they know is that he is talking something that has made them feel good. And they start sending all of that information to this guy to join a militia. Now, if you tell me that ain't crazy, I don't know what is. You didn't watch somebody do a morning mental and you send all of your personal information to them so you can join a militia that in reality at that point didn't even exist. Didn't even exist. Now, if you can do that, you are a very persuasive person. And the enemy can use you. And that's what they was doing. They can use you. Now, I called it. I said, before Grandmaster Jay got locked up, I said, what's going to happen? I say he's going to get locked up. They're going to take the computers, and that way they're going to have all the information. And Grandmaster Jay will, if somebody get hemmed up later, get locked up later, they won't be able to say, well, Grandmaster Jay gave him my information. Grandmaster Jay will be able to say, man, they took my computers. They took my guns. They took everything. You know they ran in my house. You know. It ain't on me. And he can carry on. See, this is what I'm telling you about the bait and switch. The bait and switch is serious. But now where we're at now, you know what I'm saying? Where we're at now is trying to pull him out is the trying to thread a needle. See what I'm saying? To pull him out this operation and to move him into another perspective of life is like trying to thread a needle because you got everybody's watching. So you get a lot of delay right now because the more you delay, they know social media, they study it. The more that you delay, the more the interest wane. So let it delay, let it delay, let it delay. You know, the interest of Grandmaster Jay today is definitely not like the interest this time last year. You and I know that. So once it begins to wane, and it begins to lose interest, then they strike the unwise hot and find this exit strategy. You know what I'm saying? And we be feeling some type of way because it appears that he's being attacked in the way that we've been unjustly attacked. And again, these could be Trump enemies. that's ready to roll on them? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, George Bush and Bill Clinton still sit down and have lunch when the war is over with the parties. So this is why I say that I don't expect him to get much time. I just don't expect him to get much time. Only time I expect him to get is some probation. And that's the fact of the matter. That's the only time I expect him to get. Let me share this with you. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I thought I had this file up. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Islam family, y'all hit that like button. We just gonna talk about Grandmaster Jay. I just want to do a reminder, so y'all can hold up 1 second. This is just a reminder, family, that he just been indicted and he's facing 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But when you say 20 years, you know, I don't know. Most people who never been through the judicial system, they really don't understand what that means when someone said facing 20 years. Facing 20 years and the seriousness of getting 20 years are miles away. Anybody aware of the judicial system? Facing 20 years and actually getting 20 years, those things are miles apart. And anybody that been dealing with the judicial system, you know that in the beginning they're miles apart. You know what I'm saying? That's just the maximum sentence. That's just the maximum sentence. So it is what it is. Let me share this with you. Y'all remember this?
What?
It says GFC. GFC.
It's gun zone, right?
Okay, gun free zone right there. I'm sorry. Yes.
So you mean to tell me it starts here?
Here. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna have.
He's sitting there working with the police.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't even see that.
Slide.
That's where it's not. That's what he told me. Gun free zone.
So in this video, he's working with the police. Like, if you're working with the police and then ultimately it appears that you're getting locked up by the police, like, wouldn't your mind say, hold up, I thought y'all was working together? Like, what you talking about? Check it out.
So that's the line we don't. That's the line you don't.
Okay, now we got a whole pocket.
He working with the police. In every city that he went to, he worked with the police. He got a permit for everything. Watch this. Let me pause this one real quick. Watch how he throws the other groups under the bus. Watch this.
Try to replicate it without your involvement, without your training, and might end up getting themselves into trouble, into bigger trouble than they're already in.
It's already happened. You are a journalist. And you and I have had conversations off record and on the record.
Look at the militia. Look at the militia.
The NFAC is very popular. We are the largest all-black armed militia in the world. We have chapters in the UK, across the countries of Africa, the Caribbean, South America, so we're very visible. But there are smaller groups. No, some of those groups have more radical ideas.
Those are smaller groups, and some of those groups have more radical ideas. Stop right there. You know what that's called? That's called dry snitching. Now, remember, NFAC is not effing around coalition. It wasn't predicated. No, he is lying. He's lying. He's lying. He got 2 people here, 2 people there, 3 people here, 3 people there. But listen. NFAC was called not effing around coalition. It was a collection of, thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you, Paul. It was a collection of Black Panther Party, New Black Panther Party, all sorts of Black Panther groups, all sorts of gun clubs. Let's not forget now, it was a collection of already formed gun enthusiasts in our community, and people who wanted to buy guns and join, they just came and joined. You follow me? They just came and joined. But listen to what he says now. The same people that gave him the numbers to make it look like they was bigger than what they are, listen how he throw them under the bus.
Some of those groups have more radical ideas. Some of those groups are truly interested in revolution. Some of those groups are interested in harming the police.
Look at that.
I would say,
this is what he said.
I would say that some of those groups are interested in harming the police, interested in revolution. Some of those groups are interested in harming the police. Some of those groups are truly interested in revolution. Some of those groups are interested in harming the police.
Y'all see that? Now, come on now. Any true revolutionary do not make such inflammatory statement like that. He said some are truly interested in harming the police. What true revolutionary would say that about another true revolutionary? What true revolutionary? Not one that I know. Some are radical. I'm not radical. I'm not radical. Some are truly interested in harming the police. What? That's how you gonna do me? Come on, bruh. That's how you gonna do me, bruh. And so this is what I'm saying. Don't be fooled by the theatrics that you see happening with this indictment or whatever is transpiring now. It's a part of the show. I'm telling you, if he gets any time, it won't be, I'm telling you. Like, I know the game that anything is subject to happen. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's subject to happen. I mean, because we can't circumscribe how Europeans play the game. You know, they don't play like you expect all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have signed up with this with the agreement that, you know, don't worry about how it goes down. We're going to get you out here. You're going to come out on the other side. Everything be good. But hey, somebody else in the other circle that is supposed to bring you out on the other side could have something against you from all of the racist things that you have spoken through your craziness of trying to prove your legitimacy, and they might got something against you. They might got something against you. I mean, and so this is what I'm telling you. Y'all got to pay close attention. I pay attention to every word that these people that come out of nowhere, like, where is this guy community at? And I keep telling y'all, one of the things that we got to pay attention to is people own community. We have to pay attention to that. That should be a deciding factor. If you're not a part of an organization that's a national organization or some type of community functioning organization, and you come out of nowhere and start screaming revolution, and pick up some guns and we're gonna burn this MFer down, you better be skeptical of these types. You got to be skeptical of these types, because if you're not skeptical of these types, you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble. And many people got mad at me because I called it out. I called out the inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying? And as I said last night, as I call out the inconsistencies, why don't someone step forth and prove me wrong? Like Jay Dizzle that was up here. Why don't he step up and prove me wrong? Prove me wrong. Who can prove me wrong? You ain't got to get mad and cuss me out, call me an agent. I don't care what you call me, but I want you to call me on my information that I provide. Can you do that? If you can do that, we talking. We talking. But if you can't do that, what we doing? What we doing? Let me see something real quick. Y'all remember this one?
call us if you potentially provide your number. Just for me to make an initial outreach contact. With what I had envisioned, what the Lord had put on my heart, was for you and I to perhaps have a private man-to-man to be in public.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember he was talking to, I think his name was Ray Hagan? I mean, Ray something. Y'all remember that? You and I know that it's government policy not to negotiate on these terms. They're doing it on the internet. They're doing it on the internet. And y'all be thinking like this is legitimate. There is no compromise on YouTube with government business. Are you serious? This was all a stage. Clay Higgins, that's what it was, Clay Higgins. Dude, when have you ever seen official government business worked out on the phone? Now, Clay Higgins said he didn't know he was live. That's nonsense. This all Grandmaster Jay did. That's nonsense. And in fact, with something of this magnitude, they supposed to be sitting down face to face. He supposedly be a threat. Hold up. He supposedly be a threat with this massive following of militia men and women. Yet, they negotiate some terms of engagement of a march and apologies on the phone. When have you ever seen that? Come on now. That don't even make sense. This stuff was all a show. And it's still a show. Why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you this? The reason why I'm telling you this, family, because we need to start thinking critically. And anytime someone shows up, we need to question. The first thing we should question is where they come from. Where they come from. If mama ain't rocking with you, cuzzo ain't rocking with you, sis, bruh, or homeboy ain't rocking with you, I might not want to be rocking with you either. That just makes sense. That just makes sense. Nobody even was critically thinking at the time. Just imagine all of those 100 people showed up in Louisville. Just imagine that energy put for the right cause and the right response. Imagine that energy directed properly to address the Ahmaud Arbery situation. Imagine that. Imagine them people that showed up was directed properly to address the George Floyd demonstration. Imagine that. Imagine that energy was directed properly to address Breonna Taylor's situation. It could have been utilized. Everybody could have been in a controlled state, and the spokesman could have represent the thoughts and the feelings of the people and could have legitimately made some change. Could have legitimately made some change. That was the time. Listen, if you bring 800 to 1,000 people in one place and they didn't travel across the country carrying weapons, dressed in black. Whether it was Stone Mountain, whether it was on the ground in Louisville, you bring that many people together and you don't achieve nothing, you are agent in my book. What was really achieved? What was really achieved? What were you thinking? You're going to make this call, you're going to call yourself a not effing around coalition, and 3 people is going to show up? After you jerk the heartstrings about the atrocities that happen to our community, but then when all the people show up, you just start confusion within the people. Crazy. And I'm just having this conversation because many people look at this indictment as, oh, it's a turn of events now. No, okay. Man, we seen slicker things happen. We seen more slicker things happen than this. Look at the Martin Luther King situation. Look at the Martin Luther King situation. Till this day, nobody really knows who shot Martin Luther King. Till this day. And the cameraman, and I always like to say, the cameraman that was filming put his hand on the pause to make sure Martin Luther King was dead. Was an FBI agent. Who would suspect that being an agent? He's just a cameraman. He's been around for years. Cameraman. We seen way more intricate plots than this. Way more. Malcolm X, the guy that's supposed to be his bodyguard, was actually an undercover officer. He was supposed to give Malcolm X mouth to mouth, and it's reported that he stopped his bleeding. I mean, he stopped his breathing. He suffocated Malcolm X as opposed to giving him CPR. He suffocated him. So we've seen way more slicker stuff than this. And why we keep falling for it, I don't know. I don't know. But until we wake up and start looking at what's happening in our community and look at the frauds for who they are, it's going to continue to happen. And we will never be an independent group of people. You know, one of the things we got to break out of too, we got to stop acting as if we all going to come together and do the same thing. Everybody ain't going to be following the teachers of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Everybody ain't going to be following the teachers of Elijah Muhammad. Everybody ain't going to be following the teachings of Christianity, Muslim, and Hebrew, and none of that. We need to stop that. Black people need to come together. Stop that. Like-minded people amongst us need to come together. Like-minded people need to come together. And if they're interested in your religion, fine. If they're interested in your philosophy, fine. But when you come together, you got to organize a goal. What was the goal of NFAC? What was it? What was the game plan? An ambiguous game plan. Just give us Texas. We'll take Texas. Just give us Texas. I'm a Hebrew, but I'm going to create New Kemet. What's the game plan? And this is why these conversations are important. Because many of us don't pay attention. We don't pay attention that people don't even come with a game plan. You know, even with business, you should come up with a business plan. If you start a business without a business plan, you might go have a problem. You might have a problem. You start a business without a business plan. You might have a serious problem. Somebody says, hold up, cancel. Somebody said, when King was shot to death in Memphis on April 4th, 1968, 8 undercover Green Beret soldiers were there to keep an eye on him. How about that? See what I'm talking about? I'm glad the shout out to the Astral Light. You know what I mean? We need to pay attention to these things because although they might don't have Green Beret, man, they could look just like you with a fitted snapback Jordans on today. But you should be able to pick them out because history defines what we're up against today. Mom life. I haven't seen GS talk like this, talk this long, calm in a long time. Well, because Grandmaster Jay don't got me mad right now. He ain't got me all pumped up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, remember that lady GS had on talking about the large farm in Georgia where the treehouse, didn't they find ozone in that treehouse farm? Now, exactly. And that's another thing. Now, listen, I usually don't speak on ozone because I think his case is too sensitive to be speaking via the internet. But I will say this. One of the things that I seen way before anybody else seen it is that young brothers who are fed up would flock to this sort of rhetoric. And y'all may don't remember, but during the time in Louisville, it was a young brother that shot at the police. And he got locked up. Nobody ever asked about him again. Nobody never worried about him again. And everybody that was following Grandmaster Jay didn't even realize that one day that could be you. They didn't realize that one day you're going to be hemmed up and nobody is going to be checking for you. They didn't check for, you think about the sister that, that where the gun went off, you know what I mean? Where the gun went off and the people got shot. Anybody know those people? It was said that those people that had shot themselves, y'all remember that? Let me see if I can pull this up. Give me 1 second. They said the people that had shot themselves, right? Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up right now. I'm going to give y'all some good stuff. I might pull out something y'all ain't seen yet. The people that shot themselves in Louisville, it was said that they was just left stranded. And anybody that was there, what I mean left stranded, when the Europeans took them off into the hospital, they were on their own. You follow me? They were on their own. Unbelievable to me that people would stand around and watch someone injure themselves and be left to their own devices, but don't question the leadership or the sub-leadership about responsibility and the cohesion of the camaraderie in the ranks. Just left it. They took the sister, they took the brother on that stretcher. Let me see if I can find it real quick. On that stretcher and just rolled away. You follow me? Let me see something real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me see what this is real quick. Oh, this is a good one here. Let's see. All right. This is a good one here. Let me see what I got here. Hold up.
If you join.
Hold up. Stop right there. Give me 1 second. Tell me if you can hear. If you can't hear, let me know. Look at all this rhetoric right here. We forgot all about this. Somebody forgot all about this.
Us and we find out that you're working for the other side, we gonna kill you. Straight the fuck up. If you join us and we find out that you're working for the other side, we gonna kill you. Straight the fuck up.
Did y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? This is the type of rhetoric that he was spewing. This is the type of rhetoric that he was spewing. Unbelievable to me that we fall for this stuff. Unbelievable to me. Hold up 1 second. Give me 1 second. What is this? Okay, let me see something. 1 second. I'm going to try to set this up so I can show y'all a few things. Because I need to remind y'all something. It seems like we quick forget. Because people have been asking me, what you think about Grandmaster Jay? What you think about Grandmaster Jay? Well, I don't forget too much. You know what I'm saying? I think Grandmaster Jay is not who he say he is. And because that's the fact, I believe that in time, it will reveal exactly who he is. Bottom line. Let me get another one. Hold up 1 second. I'm getting some of these files together to remind y'all. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get the file together to remind y'all real quick. Y'all remember this?
His life, who has so wonderfully poured out into us. Again, we are thankful and so happy for you that are here. We're thankful for all of those who are joining us online. And I want to say this too, and make sure that I say it publicly as we prepare to give our benediction. There are many different facets and many different ways that we as people of God, we stand and represent him in the world. There are many different ways in which we fight for justice. There are many different ways that we take a stand for what is right. And I am pray he's walking in, because I believe and they're doing what they're doing for the betterment of all people. And he's here, and I want to pray over him for his protection. I want to pray that whatever is trying to go and happen against him, that it would be canceled in the name of Jesus. Will you stand right where you are? Will you extend your hands toward this brother right now? This is how we're going to end our service, because I believe that God has given him a mission.
Y'all think it's a game. Man, this stuff, man, they playing games with people's emotions, man.
And I realize that folk may see it and wonder why Pastor didn't. No, we believe that this is the will of God. So help me as we end this service and pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you. We honor you for what we have heard on today. We thank you for the word that has been released in this house. And Father, we pray right now for our brother in the path that you have him on, the purpose that he's walking in. First and foremost, we pray for his protection. We pray that you would encamp angels around him in the name of Jesus.
Y'all know it is after everybody talk gangster, after everybody talk tough, then they want to talk to Jesus. Yeah, he a Hebrew, he a Kemetic, but now he Christian on this day.
We pray for every person connected to him. For we understand that the enemy is real, but your power is more powerful. You're sovereign, you're unique, you're unparalleled, and we believe that he is protected even now. We pray that the battle that we're all fighting, we pray that your will would be done even now. We pray that wherever he would go, wherever he would find himself.
Y'all still go for this scripted stuff? For real? Do we still fall for this scripted stuff? Unbelievable to me.
That angels would accompany him. And we pray that everything we would do, and everything we would say would bring glory to your kingdom. Now, as always, Father, we pray now, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace, and give thee peace, and give thee peace. In Jesus' name, amen. Will you hug somebody? Give them a big hug and just let them know I love you with the love of the Lord. God bless you.
Look at him. He be throwing up the rock. He be throwing up the rock. Check him out.
Amen. Will you hug somebody? Give them a big hug and just let them know I love you with the love of the Lord.
Look at his hand. This is the same thing he was doing at the Trump rally. He was throwing signs. He was throwing his hands up. He was doing all this stuff. Man, this stuff ain't by chance. And he's looking into the crowd. He probably got security out there somewhere. We go for anything.
Lord, God bless you.
We go for anything. We definitely go for anything. You know what I'm saying? We got to do better, man. We go for anything. You said he was going to be a preacher or something. That's what he going to be. When it's all over, said and done, I'm trying to tell you, that's what he going to do. He going straight to the pastor to the pulpit. Man, he might not call it a church, but he definitely going to the pulpit. I'm telling you what I know. What else I got up here? He definitely going to the pulpit, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Even did anybody ever check this out?
We have our own reason for existing. In answer to your question about size, when we first popped out, we popped out completely boring. So where did all these people come from, organized and so forth? What they fail to realize is this. Militias are formed by people for different reasons.
You know, the funniest part is how he was going on the news. And y'all know that news, anybody understand how news work? Anybody know how news work? News is a propaganda. It's a propaganda campaign. That's all news is. News is to sell a product by the way of commercials and to keep you interested with the story so you can get to the commercial. That's how radio, TV was born out of radio, because it was about selling products. And CNN and MSNBC did the story of this, and they were selling this to people. They were selling this story to people.
5 folks over here who didn't like the quarantine. You got 10 folks over here who probably felt like their voting rights were being infringed. So they formed these militias, many different reasons. Over 500 different white militias in this country for different reasons. Yet the NFAC has one particular goal, with one demographic that has one particular issue. So our numbers are going to be large because we all have the same issue. That's why we're so large.
And if you don't mind, what is that issue?
The issue is the continued treatment of Black people in the United States as second-class citizens, whether it be at the hands of the police.
Now stop right there. The funny thing about when you watch these interviews, let me throw my hands up. Now, talk about a Mason. I ain't no Mason. Got a couple Mason jars that I'm going to preserve some food with. But no, the funny thing about these interviews, right, is that Grandmaster Jay seems to be telling all of the internal operations of the building of this militia. And then he always brag about how big they are. One thing about any organization that is predicated upon defending any group of people, they never talk about their numbers. Never. Like, why would you tell the enemy about your numbers? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. And so a lot of this stuff is propaganda because everybody want to go with the crowd. So if you talk about we're big, we're everywhere, we're big, we're everywhere. and people get to look at the news and see the atrocities that our people face, the first thing they want to say is, man, how can I do my part? How can I do my part? That's the biggest militia. I'm joining NFAC. You got this guy talking all this tough rhetoric. Shoot, I'm joining NFAC. How do I do my part? How do I do my part? And in reality, anybody that joined NFAC, whether then or now, that was up in the close ranks, you know that I'm telling the truth, that the NFAC was one of the most disorganized propaganda train that we have seen since Santa Claus. You and I know that. Because the propaganda made it look real, but you can tell behind the scenes there was total disorganization. That wasn't hard to tell. And anybody, if it was hard for somebody to tell, then that's because you haven't paid attention to history. But pay attention to history, and it's easy to identify. It's easy to identify. Like many of us don't pay attention to history. Many of us don't pay attention to history. If you pay attention to history, none of these people would be able to fool you. That's why history is so important. I mean, now let me try this file. I think I got a file that I just loaded. Let me see. Is it right? Where is it? I got a bunch of stuff up here. Let me see what I got here. Y'all remember this? What's this? See what I got here. I got something coming.
How y'all listen to that bullshit social media?
Oh, my bad. I was trying to get something else. Listen to how he was talking then, as opposed to.
How y'all listen to that bullshit social media? The NFAC on social media is misrepresented. Oh, they said we terrorists. Oh, they said we out to kill the white people.
Nobody never said that about the NFAC. Never. Watch it.
Oh, they said that we are FBI operation.
I said that. I think you're a Trump operation.
Oh, they said we a bunch of agents. I don't know what the fuck kind of agent frees black people. But I want y'all to know something. Black people, we were created for you, by you, to protect you, to police you, to educate you on firearms, and to educate you on when you can.
Now the question is, why none of these things ever why didn't they ever materialize? Let me say this to Sean Stone. When I'm talking about study history, how the plot has been worked to keep us in the subservient state and keep us from becoming independent, and how infiltration worked. That's what I mean by study history. But the point that I'm making now is, no, when I'm talking about history, study history. Let's stay on topic. Stay on topic. We're talking about study history from the perspective of how infiltration worked. There's plenty of examples. Study history of how manipulation worked. There's plenty of examples. Categorize what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about study history and painting it with a wide brush. I'm saying study history on the topic that we're talking about, and you will see and you will be able to identify it as it happened again. There's nothing new under the sun. So if you study infiltration and you can read how it was done, you can talk to even elders that just getting out the penitentiary from doing 30 and 40 years, you'll be able to see. Like, let me give you a common, let me give you something that's common knowledge. There was once said, right before Bob Marley was assassinated, that with the killing of Malcolm X, let me put it like this: with the assassination of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, there was a running conversation that goes like, in order to clean this up, it takes too much work. So no longer will we kill any leaders with this sort of mess. Talking about blood, talking about propaganda. And after that, you begin to see, even in Israel or the Gaza Strip, Yasser Arafat, that was in his compound. If I'm not mistaken, he passes of a brain aneurysm, and he was one of the biggest oppositions to Israel. And the United States was in defense of Israel, but playing the peacemaker. Yasser Arafat was so adamant in giving his people the freedom of their land in the Gaza Strip that he was going against all odds, all opposition. He dies of a brain aneurysm mysteriously in his compound. You looked at Dr. Khalid Muhammad, a brother who pretty much, you can look at a brother and you can see that there's a good chance that he take care of himself. And out of the blue, who was a great threat because of the fluence that he has, he died from something similar. 50 years young, or somewhere in that neighborhood. Vibrant one day, then the next day, everything falls apart. You got Malik Zulu Shabazz talk about, oh, he loved fried chicken. Yeah, he had a bad diet. That's one thing about Malik. One thing about Khalid, he loved. I'm like, but that wasn't considered the complications of his death. So to even hear someone that's supposed to have been a close associate, but you have people to say that Dr. Khalid never trusted Malik, but to hear him say that make you wonder. It makes you wonder. But back to my point, there was a running word that the government no longer is going to kill with the bullet. So you look at the death of Bob Marley. Anybody know about that? The death of Bob Marley. Somebody gave him a pair of Converse, and in those Converse sneakers, there was said to be a needle in there that gave him cancer. And since Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, we haven't seen no bloodshed over no leaders. In fact, we haven't seen any formidable leaders that could represent us all since then. And I'm talking about represent us all. I mean, some people may say Farrakhan, but I believe, with all due respect, Farrakhan's interest is for the Nation of Islam, not for the whole collective. And that's with all due respect. Rightfully so. He's the leader of the Nation of Islam. I don't believe Farrakhan's interest is for the whole collective. I believe it's for the Nation of Islam at the end of the day. And all the numbers that come to hear Brother Farrakhan, it represents the influence and the membership that could possibly give into the Nation of Islam. That's not a shot. This is just facts. You know, When you look at the Million Man March, and it was said that 1 million people showed up at the Million Man March, and you have to critique it and ask what actually became of that as a group of people moving on one rhythm. Nothing. This is just the facts of the matter. This is just the facts of the matter. Yeah, some people went there, they were inspired, they became better fathers. Some people went there and inspired, they did some work in their community. Some people came there and was inspired, and they did this, that, and the third, started some business. But I'm talking about as a collective, as a national agenda for a group of people. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nobody didn't say that Farrakhan is not for the people. I say the interest is for the Nation of Islam. That's what I said. I didn't say he wasn't for the people. I said the interest at the end of the day goes towards the Nation of Islam. And if anybody want to deny that and debate that, I'm open for that, but just be respectful. And the reason why you know that the interest was for the Nation of Islam and continues to be, and hopefully inspire those who are inspired to do better as individuals, who Farrakhan has inspired many, he's inspired me. However, there was nothing put on the table for the collective million that showed up to execute as that million. There was nothing put on the table. There was a bunch of talks. There was a bunch of speeches. And I'm not minimizing these things because we need inspiration too. There was a bunch of talk, a bunch of speeches, a bunch of information. It was like a concert. I'm saying it was a concert of orators. See, we got time to look back and check it out today. See, in the moment, everybody is pumped up and inspired. Everybody ready to rock and roll. But when you're able to look back and take a look at it, you'll know that it becomes a concert of orators. This one speak, that one speak, this one speak, this one speak, that one speak, this one speak, that one speak, this one speak. But when it gets all down to it, even putting an agenda on the table becomes a part of the inspiration, but not necessarily a part of something that can be executed. Look at Dre Amir say, he can't make people do what they need to do. He can only give information and guidance. Dre Amir, leaders just don't give information and guidance. When you look at the Nation of Islam, they are well organized, well polished. If you have 1 million people there listening to you and a host of other people, out of that million, you can organize them outside of the Nation of Islam into executing something as a collective, as a community. But that didn't happen. All of the organization and the executing of an agenda or a program is seen in the Nation of Islam. Like, that is not no bad thing. Somebody say in the comment section, Nation of Islam is a religious organization, so they look out for their own. That's how it's supposed to be, I would assume. Not in my book, because I think we all in this same thing together. My thing is, I need somebody to orchestrate us coming together and executing something together. How does that look? Somebody say, how does revolution look, or how does liberation look? I don't think we know how that look anymore. I don't think we know how liberation look anymore. So anybody can tell us anything right now. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can tell us anything right now because we don't know what liberation look like. We don't know what, we think that unity means everybody going to come together. No, unity means that like-minded, unit mind, one mind will come together and make something happen. Unity doesn't mean that every single person that look like you is going to come with the same idea, the same intensity and of intention that you have. Unity don't look like that. It never did look like that. That's why you got families of nations. That's why you got China. That's why you got Japan. That's why you got Korea. That's why you got Russia. That's why you got France, because people do things because they see things in the same way. And so it's the same thing with our people. We all not of one mind, and we'd be crazy to try to think that we are going to be of one mind. But we can get on oneness with those who are of one mind. We got to stop fighting for something that's never going to happen. You know, all of these countries in Africa, over 60 countries in Africa, it's because nobody sees things alike. But if you got 100 over here, they can transform that into 1,000,000 to see things alike. If they don't see it alike, they break off and they begin to do their own thing. But we call that disunity. That's nature. The world is built on a collective breaking off, a collective breaking off, a collective breaking off. We look at that as division. Well, that's what it takes for the world to evolve. That's just what it takes. But we in America, as a group of people that suffer from the institution of slavery, we see one doing thing one way. We say it's either this way or no way. See, I don't see moral signs like that. It's either my way or no way. No, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, Grandmaster Jay, back to Grandmaster Jay, he is so tapped into people's emotions that people will respond to him in a way that he set things in motion. Morning mental. The first thing in the morning, let me get into your mind. Let me get into your mind first thing in the morning. The first thing you should be doing in the morning is meditating, contemplating, being grateful that you woke up. And you shouldn't be putting anybody else's thoughts in your mind in the morning. Let me tell you right now, when you first return to this plane called Earth, the first thing you should be doing is meditating, contemplating. You shouldn't be seeding your mind with anybody's thoughts first thing in the morning. Never. Because for one, when you're just returning, because getting sleep and getting rest, you're not the body, you're a spirit and a part of God. And that spirit can take on and travel. Y'all might think I'm getting spooky, man, but you know your body goes into the ground when it's all said and done. So I'm gonna just say it like it is. The spirit of God that's in you can go and seek out the universe while the body lay to rest. When the spirit returns to the body and you wake up, the last thing you should do is put somebody else's information in your mind, because the spirit in the body is being tuned with one another from the journey of the rest or the sleep that just took place. So when you're waking up, the grogginess is not only the body, it's the spirit readjusting and realigning itself. That's why you should never, when you wake up, jump straight up. You should lay there for a minute. Appreciate the return. Thank the universe for the return. Go through your day. Manifest your greatness first thing in the morning. Manifest your greatness. Think about your greatness before you move this body. The last thing you should be doing is turning on YouTube and listen to somebody talking crazy, but very persuasive about morning mental. That's the last thing you should do. You should never, ever do that. Now, once you get to moving around, you done got up. If you drink coffee, you done got your coffee. If you eat fruit in the morning, you done got your fruit up in you, your water or whatever. Because once you get whatever you get up in you, the wheels will start turning in the physical. Now the spirit and the physical start aligned with one another. And so the energy or the light of the spirit begins to align with the energy of the body, and you're ready to move. Now, when you're ready to move, you can decipher better than you would be if you're just waking up. You'll be able to disseminate information better. But if you just wake up and the first thing you do is go into somebody's morning mental and stuff, like I'm telling you, being indoctrinated. You're being indoctrinated. Don't let nobody indoctrinate you. And it's the same thing when you go to sleep. If you're going to listen to something going to sleep, make sure that it's a universal message and an approach. That it's not cultural, because cultural messages can put you in a box too. Make sure it's a universal message. Like one of the things I would recommend that before I get out of here tonight, because Grandmaster Jay just playing the same game, so let me just give a good message real quick. One thing that I would recommend on your way out the door, on my way out the door, if you need to calm yourself at night, one of the things that you should try listening to is Sadhguru on a topic, got millions of videos online on a topic that you might be struggling with. Sadhguru or any of the Indian mystics. Because one thing about the Indian mystics, they don't do a whole bunch of hooping and hollering, and that can calm the spirit. And one thing about the Indian mystics is their lessons are universal. It's not like if you listen to a brother Tahaka Bay, I may throw something in there. I'm speaking universal right now. But say if you listen to a Tahaka Bay on a Friday holy day for the Moorish Science Temple of America, you're going to hear a lot of Moorish Science Temple of America. Some of it may be dogmatic. Some of it may be practical. Some may just be cultural. You follow what I'm saying? Some of it may be cultural. But when you listen to a lot of the Indian sages, some from the Himalayas, their religion is not religion as we know it. You see what I'm saying? And it's natural. I love brother C Freeman. C Freeman L. Somebody asked me, what about C Freeman L? I love brother C Freeman L. That's my guy. But you have to understand too, Grafter Jeweler, even C Freeman L, he teaches in a way that is secular, that you can expand it universally, but you have to have the mind to be able to expand it. Some people teach complicated that may be simple to you, but complicated to others. You feel what I'm saying? And C Freeman L teaches like that, where everybody just won't get it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Everybody just won't get it all the time. But when you listen to a lot of the Indian sages, I'm telling you, or even like the indigenous African of the dog of the dog tribe, and some of the witch doctors, and when you're able to listen to those who speak from a universal perspective and not trying to grab you in to be me, those are the things that you can fall on a smooth plateau. The doggone, that's what I meant to say. The doggone. I said, there we go, the doggone. There we go, Black Knight. You know what I'm talking about, the doggone. It's a few more things that I wanted to get out real quick. And in nighttime, somebody said they listen to nature. That's another thing. Water, nature. But the best thing that you can do is just be still. Still your mind. That's the best thing that you can do. Still your mind, because the universe speaks in a still small voice, and the messages come through during hours of the night when things are still. Still your mind. That's the top-notch thing that you can do, is still your mind. And let me tell you something about stilling your mind. When you look at stilling your mind, you will realize that there's so much movement and interference with your energy that sometimes we're not even thinking in our own mind. Let me break it down. If you lay back tonight, right, and you just be still and you listen, you'll be able to hear the electrical currents running through your house. You'll be able to hear the molecules of your house. All of this is energy. Now imagine in the course of the day how much energy intersect into your mental. So a lot of the thoughts that we have is not even ours, because we allow thoughts to intersect into our mental. Then when you look at a person like Grandmaster Jay that's coming with a morning mental, he understands this methodology. He understands this alchemy. He understands this. I'm telling you, he understands this. So whether you need assistance in relaxing, or whether you want to still yourself, when you still yourself, feel all the vibration around you. And that will give you some perspective of how to be the captain of your ship when you're out and about, when you're looking at YouTube, when you're listening to the radio. Because when you're looking at one thing, there's a million thoughts of energy rushing in 1,000 at a time. So at night, when you still yourself, the energies are a little bit calmer. You're able to detect them. And then you're able to tap into the source of power, which you are. And no one will be able to manipulate you. No one will be able to manipulate you. These broadcasts have always been about not allowing people to manipulate us, not allowing people to play us. That's what Moorish World TV has been all about. It started off addressing people that try to utilize their platform to make another people feel as if they were not relevant, to make another people feel that they was insignificant. And that was Sinetta coming at the Moors, coming at the Hebrews in order to cash in. But the conscious community is dead now. The conscious community is dead now. And so now Moorish World TV said we're going to shift gears and we're going to still talk about these things. But at the end, we're going to have a conversation and we're going to start to build the conversation of consciousness, of real consciousness. Conscious is just to be aware. When you still your mind, you want to be aware to all the energy that's around you. Man is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah, a spirit and a part of the universe, a spirit and a part of the universal creator, a spirit and a part of the divine energy. And anything that you want, you already have. Anything that you want, you already have. All you have to do is put yourself in the space and you can think it and bring it into fruition. You could think it and bring it into fruition. It's the fact. So family, I just wanted to give a little update that nothing changed with Grandmaster Jay. We're going to watch it. I don't believe he's going to get any time, even though he was just indicted. I don't believe that. I truly believe that this exit strategy is going to go flawless. And before you know it, he's going to be talking to people again with the same rhetoric of not as a militia man, but as a spiritual man. And he might even try to push the documentary about the rise and fall of the NFAC because he's going to cash out. You feel what I'm saying? He's going to cash out. He's going to find a way to cash out. Because at the end of the day, the agents have always found a way to cash out on their own because they don't get paid a lot for the infiltration that they do. And that's why they get away with so much. You know what I mean? That's why they get away with so much. That's why one can sell dirty water and almost kill somebody, go away for 6 months, come back and sell sea moss and put the same stuff in it. This is why. It's all suspect. And no one should get a pass. No one should get a pass. Somebody said, even you. Let's see if you bad enough to come up in here. Let's see if you bad enough to come up in here. Somebody said, even you. Somebody removed them. Somebody said, even you. Let's see. Even you. Anybody? Okay. All right. So family, peace and love. I see y'all on Saturday. And we bringing Onk in on Monday. Me and Onk going to talk about how, you know, they always say, Onk, I smoke cocaine out of keys. Y'all remember that? Press 7. We're going to talk about Onk's journey through the Baltimore City life. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want or need already exists within you. Perfectly stated. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something. That's why I'm so grateful for the Moorish World TV audience and my brothers and sisters in the temple, because no matter what struggle I face, you know, somebody comes through. I could be facing a financial struggle, and out of the clear blue, the Cash App will go bling. Out of the clear blue. And y'all know I don't be up here be like, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. I don't do that. But out of the clear blue, the Cash App will go bling. And I don't like to put people on blast, but I love to just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Even like my brother DJ KS Smooth, you know, any work that I do in the community, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't know. $4.99 can go a long way at the dollar store. They sell paintbrushes, they sell rollers, they do all of that. You know what I mean? Now, you know what I'm saying? It helps out a long way. So I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. You know, and I love the fact, that people appreciate the information, and I put myself on the line. You know, I put myself on the line also. You know, people talking that old crazy pull-up stuff. Before I go, I was walking into Walmart just the other day. I was walking into Walmart. I was trying to find me a monitor so I can produce my music. Everybody want my music, and I need a new monitor because I broke my other monitor. And I don't like to use my Apple. And this one here, I use this for streaming because it's a high power computer, but I got a smaller computer that I needed a monitor for. So I was going to get a monitor. And man, I ran into Go-Go Junkie. I don't know if y'all ever seen him in the chat. Go-Go Junkie. And the way that I knew him, he said, before he said Grand Chico to Arca Bay, he said, Go-Go Junkie. I knew exactly who he was. You feel what I'm saying? But now, imagine if it was one of those people that I threw under the bus, right? Because what I'm saying is I put myself out there. Imagine if it was one of them people that I threw under the bus and they see me and then try to move incandescently. And I'm going to tell you that wouldn't be a good move. However, just say that, hypothetically speaking. Because I call a spade all the time. And just as easy as Go-Go Junkie, that's my blood, that's my main man. It could be somebody that's an enemy of the show. And so this is what I mean. That's why I appreciate how you support, whether it's a Cash App, whether it's a share, whether it's a gratitude. And shout out to everybody that sent me an email. Everybody that sent me an email during this time with the crazy stuff over there with the other channel, man, support was through the roof. Don't worry about it, Grand Sheik. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Your diligence and times are priceless. You deserve this and more, Brother Keldron. And I hope to see you again soon. Keep dropping jewels, God. That's right. My man. That's what I'm talking about. You know, so family, I'll be back on Saturday. Unless something pop up and I have to go live tomorrow from my phone. Friday, in 3 minutes. It's the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. So happy holy day. And you know, I'm dedicated to the things that I've dedicated my life to. And the most important thing is Moorish Science Temple of America, because it changed my life. It gave me a new perspective on life. And the wisdom that I spit actually is drawn from that. And I do my best to make sure that it's universal, because I don't want to give you no dogmatic nonsense that ain't gonna do nothing for you. I ain't gonna give you no dogmatic nonsense that ain't gonna do nothing for you. You know what I mean? You ain't black. You ain't black. Thank you, Astrolight. You ain't black. You didn't proclaim your nationality. The European made you black. Man, I'm not doing that. Doing none of that. I'm gonna give you some practical information. I'm gonna give you some practical information that I use to get me through my day. What I told you tonight is actually what I use. And I couldn't sit up here and tell you this if I was lying, because I got a wife that'll look at me and say, I hope you ain't sitting there lying because you a Muslim. I go ahead. No. You better not be lying because you a Moorish American Muslim. Go ahead, woman. I'll be like, nah, you just misunderstood me. You just misunderstood me. I don't do no lying. Lying for what? For what? You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to tell you the truth that keeps me on the right path. It keeps me on the right path and keeps me straight, because the first thing that we always must remember, our ancestors said it in Africa, and I'm going to say it here. To thyself always be true. To thyself be true. Someone can lie to you, but they can't lie to themselves. They can't lie to themselves. And even when they tell a lie to the public, the karma of that lie comes back and condemn them. The whole world can believe the lie, But the energy and the vibration of that lie comes back and condemns the liar. The whole world can believe it. But the one who produced the lie, it will come back and condemn him. You may never see it. I may never see it. But you can bet your last morsel that they will feel it. They will feel it. Follow me? They will feel it. The universe has no losses. The universe have no losses. None. All wins. And universal principle will come back and get you. So, you know what I mean? Brother lied on me and plastered all that lower energy with my family on the thing. Now, that don't bother me. You got to deal with that. Oh, and last but not least, I think this is a valuable thing, and I'm going to say it a lot. When somebody cross you, press 7 if y'all listen, because this is the last thing I'm going to say. When somebody cross you or somebody do you dirty, when somebody cross you or somebody do you dirty, if you seek revenge or retribution, you're getting in the way from the universe of handling it for you. Don't get in the way of the universe. It could be your loved ones. It could be your friends. It could be your associates. It could be on YouTube. It could be on social media. When someone do you dirty, unjustified dirty, don't seek revenge. Because the moment that you in there seeking revenge, you're blocking the universe from handling it for you. The universe handles that for you. You don't have to do anything. If you sitting up there trying to go that way, you're blocking that energy. Don't block the energy. Move out the way. Let the universe through. Let the universe through. Because you cannot and you will never, ever be able to perform in the way that the universe will in your behalf. You would never. That doesn't mean like you're going to punch me in my face and I'm going to say the universe going to hit you back. No, you hit me in my face, I'm trying to take you out. But I'm just talking about when people put out that type of energy, they not physically harming you, but they putting out that type of energy. They slandering you. They lying on you. They talking crazy. Okay. It might disturb your soul. It might have your stomach in a knot. It may make you want to steam and fume. Just get out the way. Get out the way. Because many times the universe was moving in your behalf and you blocked it. And you blocked it. So that's the message for tonight, fam. I'm telling you, we're about to go all the way up right here. We want the smoke. We're about to go all the way up. I told you we're about to transition this channel into a whole nother level. Let's go, family.
private, name a man to be in public, but
That's a fact.
He said, I know everything.
I know everything.
They do be knowing everything.
I know where. I know your whole
business.
crew. I know who's doing what.
You're the best investigators ever.
I even know everything. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up.
Hey. They got him in there. And the little one with the little 4-5.
He told me, he was just like, man, he said, I gotta make an example out of you. I gotta make an example out of you. So I'm like, you know, and I know what they doing. He's telling me, I know what they doing. Either tell them to stop or you gotta cut them off. That's a fact.
He said, I know everything.
I know everything.
They do be knowing everything.
I know
That's
I know your whole crew. I know who's doing what.
You're the best investigators ever.
You know what I'm saying?
You're the best investigators ever.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
I get it. I need to know everything. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up. Hey. I'm like, you know, and I know what they doing. He's telling me, I know what they doing. Either tell them to stop or you gotta cut them off. And I'm like, damn, like, how the fuck? Like,
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. Family, see y'all tonight, 9:30. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call